I need you to understand. I want to talk about you, okay? Let's have some tea about it. If you are the kind of person that gets really irritated by time and timeliness and punctuality, just stop the video right now. I'm not your guy. I've never been good with time. I never will be good with time. Time and I have a strange relationship. If you want to get to know more about that, keep watching. This is not the place for you. However, if that's something you want to work on or something you want to challenge or something that you're not particularly bothered by, then keep watching. So I'm a pretty out there person, and I work with a lot of people in a lot of different capacities. And this is like the classic, the cliche, the number one you hear all the time. You're like, oh yeah, I coach people, or I'm a therapist and I just can help everybody. My specific chosen niche is a bit verbose. We'll lay it out piece by piece here. Religious harm reduction for spiritual recovery in LGBTQIA plus couples and psychedelic integration, and intention and preparation and facilitation. Those are my main focus areas. My main modalities are, I work with positive intelligence, I work with mental health first aid, self-compassion. I'm a former wilderness therapy guide, ICF accredited coach. That's International Coaching Federation. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Make sure the coaches that you're looking at are accredited by the International Coaching Federation, because they are the gold standard in coaching. I'm PCC, Professional Certified Coach, which means I have 500 certified hours of coaching with people. It's going through my ICF training. I have 125 hours of ICF training, but that is the tip of the iceberg. Those are credentials that I got to kind of open some doors for me. This is designed to be an up-and-coming textbook that I'm hoping will be published by University Press and put in the hands of young minds in master's, graduates, PhD, and postdoctorate, etc. programs. This is 2,500-year-old ancient Chinese wisdom, and this is my number one foundation. Now, I don't want to scare you off. This isn't a religious thing. It's arguably a religion. There are religious sects, but I am much more into the primitivistic, dogmatic approach of Taoism. I really like the Tao Te Ching. I really like Tao Te Ching. So I have a lot to say about it. I've done a lot of work with self-compassion. If that's something that you struggle with, I can help you, because it's something that I struggle with too. I'm here to tell you right now, it's been like 10 years. I've studied this stuff and known it and practiced it. Life goes on. It doesn't necessarily get easier, but it does get better. You can enjoy, engage with it more, which is, again, part of good with the bad, yin with the yang. You enjoy the bitterness through compassion, having compassion for yourself as you move through that. And it's something that I come in and out of, but it's how you move in and out of it. And if you're even able to move into it in the first place in your life, ever. Radically different way of experiencing life. I also do a lot of work with something called the Yi Jing, which is similar to the Tao Te Ching, but it's older, more ancient. It's a book of divination. I'm a very spiritual person, in case you couldn't tell by the religious harm reduction and spiritual recovery for LGBTQIA plus couples and psychedelic integration. So I really have a lot of faith in faith. I have a lot of belief in belief. Those words may be charged for you. If they are, that's something that we can work on, because the trauma that people encounter in some of these religious organizations tends to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Instead of having any sort of spiritual experience, it all just gets cut off. Your ability to trust and connect in something greater than yourself and have this deeper appreciation, this deeper connection with existence is stunted because of some really unfortunate things that happen. I want to help you open that up again. I want to help you rediscover what it's like to look out over a landscape and feel a deep resonance and purpose and meaning and some sort of awe and magic that there is some grand design in some sense, and that it is not conspiring against you, and that you do not have to be any way that you don't want to be in order to make it happy. The intuition and the strangeness that I bring to my craft and the skill that I bring to my craft, my ability to open people's minds to different ways of thinking and experiencing life, that is my forte. And the bulk of the really juicy stuff comes from over 8,000 hours of wilderness therapy. Now, wilderness therapy's got a bad rap, thanks to Paris Hilton. If you don't know about that, look that up. That stuff is wild. The industry didn't really do itself any favors to stand up for itself. Suffice to say, I have 8,000 hours, 555 days in the field of being with teenage boys, teenage girls, young adults, people in crisis that really, really need help, are not all the time very open to help, and are on the fast track to death. And the people who love them are saying, we know that you don't consent, but you need something. This can help. Just the idea of connecting with nature, settling down a bit, sounds pretty nice. I've worked with people in the most unimaginable situations, experiences with combinations of psychiatric, mood, cognitive disorders, meds being moved around, people blowing up, shutting down, having breakthroughs. I've got almost 2,000 hours of service with AmeriCorps in a classroom setting. That really honed in my ability to teach, to learn how people learn. I got my bachelor's from New College of Florida, which has recently been all over the national news. If you haven't heard about that, check that out. That stuff is crazy. This crusade against diversity, equity, and inclusion, gender studies, just there's extremes in everything in moderation. Anyways, New College of Florida is the #1 Fulbright scholars in the world per capita. One of the best educations you can get. I got my degree in psychology and research psychology. I presented my thesis research at Columbia University at a symposium called Coolidge. My thesis was self-compassion in LGBTQIA+ individuals and communities, looking at people's stories, not just quantitative, but mainly qualitative data, to see what people's self-compassion looks like in the face of the adversities that our culture and our world puts out there. So that's been a lot of my passion and my main focus. Now, you don't have to be LGBT, you don't have to have religious trauma, you don't have to have spiritual recovery that you want to go through. I can work with you in a lot of different capacities. Those are just my main passion areas. I'm also certified in neuro-linguistic programming. If you don't know what that is, look that up. That stuff is crazy. It's kind of what it sounds like. Neuro-linguistic programming. Programming your brain using language models. How you talk to yourself, how you speak consciously and unconsciously, and reverse engineering that to move some wiring and circuitry on the back end to bring the unconscious into the conscious, which, speaking of, I also do a lot of work in the psychedelic field. I was at Psychedelic Science 2023, 13,000 people in Denver. I was there for the massive protest that happened at the end. If you haven't heard about that, check that out. That stuff is crazy. My main areas of focus are ketamine, psilocybin, MDMA, some LSD. The plants and I have kind of been circling around each other for a while. Psilocybin and I have a relationship, but Aya and Wachuma and peyotes, we haven't gotten there yet. We'll intersect at some point, but I got plenty of life to live. In our working relationship, I am not going to give you the answers. It won't happen. But I will open up new ways of thinking with you. Other video testimonials from some of my other clients, any of them will tell you, working with me can be, my method is a lot of emergent design, rolling with things as they come, channeling it as it comes through for you, mostly holding a space and holding a container and holding a mirror so that you can see yourself in ways that you haven't seen yourself and question things in ways that you didn't know were possible to question. And typically by the next session or the one after that, things click into place and they make sense. There's a few other things you should know. I have a book published, Collateral Intentions. This is me, but not just me. This is raw, stripped down, torn open human experience. This is a coming of age tale. This is documentation of 11 years of journaling, cherry picked from some of the most seminal moments of my life. In poetry and letters and flash fiction and short stories, broken into 11 quick chapters. You can get this on Kindle. You can order a copy for yourself, flip to any random page, find something you like. I have 5 programs that I've put together. One is a 30-day sprint, a 56-day program, a 64-day program, an 81-day program, all the way up to a full 1-year transformation, in which all 4 of these programs put together back to back to back. This is something that I have specifically curated. 30-day program is built around goal setting. How to set goals, how to stick with goals, how to reprogram goals, how to set realistic, achievable goals, and assess where you're at, and how to move the marker in a way that feels good. The 56-day program, 8 weeks, is built around self-compassion, built on the research of Dr. Kristen Neff, the godmother of self-compassion in the psychological community. 64-day program is built around the I Ching, the Book of Changes, ancient book of divination, the first Chinese text ever written, the oldest text. It's about change. Not just change, but the energy of change, the spirit of change, the process of change, the law of change. And the program is about forming a relationship with change, getting to know it. And then there's an 81-day program built around, you guessed it, this is just one shelf of an entire bookshelf. Without a shame. 81 poems, 1 poem per day. You really get to pace it out, and you get to work with me and tap into the wisdom that I've garnered across writing this textbook. This is still in the process. This is still a manuscript. You will likely get a chance to play a role in helping me develop it. And finally, you have the 4 Seasons program, where we work across the 4 seasons in 4 chapters of these programs with some breaks built in between for a complete arc of evolution. If any of these things sound good to you, if you're curious about it, or if you just want a free ride and to get some cool resources, you can go in the description and download a free PDF of Coaching Foundations. This is a collection of resources that I've put together that build the foundations for coaching. You can use it with me, you can use it for any other coaching, you can coach yourself, free, for you. Guaranteed it'll help, even if you can use just one piece of the dozens of skills that are in there. If you'd like to book a discovery call, free call, chat for 20 minutes, see how we feel about it. You can book that in the description as well. Go to the website. If you just feel like it's a hard yes right now, sign me up. Of course, it's an option as well. My name is Constantine. I do relationship coaching, not just coaching people in relationships, but coaching relationship with everything so that you can live a better life. If that sounds interesting, talk to you soon.